Welcome, everyone, to our digital event. We are so excited to share Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit with all of you today. My name is Kristen Fleek. I'm our business applications lead in the Tech for Social Impact team here at Microsoft. We have so much to share with you that we're going to jump right in. Today, we'll introduce you to Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit and the vision we have for this connected platform to help nonprofits do more good. You'll hear from Microsoft Tech for Social Impact Chief Technology Officer, Eric Arnold, on that vision. Next, Erin McHugh-Safe, our Global Director of Product Development, will join us to showcase some of the new capabilities coming in fundraising and engagement, which launched in October of 2020 and will become part of our greater Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit offering. Finally, we'll share a nonprofit spotlight, Arthritis Foundation, and their use of Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit to utilize technology to help those living with arthritis. So some quick housekeeping. The chat window is open, so please feel free to ask your questions there throughout the session. We have a team of experts standing by to help answer those questions. However, please do note that we have an Ask the Expert session following this one, and you can dig in a little bit deeper there live with our experts as well. So before we kick off with our first speaker, I'd like to just share an overview video of our Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit. Let's roll that video.
Nonprofit organizations are on the front lines of our world's most pressing issues, providing critical support and often life-saving services to communities across the globe. Yet nonprofits have often faced an unmet need for technology solutions to ensure that the full power of supporters and funders, volunteers, and program staff can focus on the mission. Welcome to Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit, empowering scalable and transformative mission impact. Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit connects the trusted cloud capabilities of Microsoft to the most common nonprofit scenarios, such as constituent and program analytics, program design and delivery, volunteer management, and fundraising. Workflows and data sources from across the organization are united on a single platform to drive evidence-based decision-making. Available in the second half of 2021, Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit unlocks the power of Microsoft 365, Azure, Dynamics 365, Power Platform, and LinkedIn, all brought together by the nonprofit common data model. Our Microsoft partner ecosystem further extends the capabilities of the platform with even more industry-specific services and solutions. Built with and for this sector, Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit provides the flexibility to adopt specific capabilities you need when you need them to ultimately accelerate mission outcomes.
With that, it is my pleasure to introduce Eric Arnold to the session. Welcome, Eric.
Thanks, Kristen. My name is Eric Arnold, and I'm the Global CTO for Tech for Social Impact, and I'm thrilled to finally have the chance to share our vision for Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit. First, a bit of context. We live in a perfect storm of global pandemic, increasingly rapid climate change, economic uncertainty, racial injustice, record numbers of refugees, and increased food insecurity. Nonprofits are needed now more than ever, yet COVID and the resulting economic uncertainty has disrupted everything from mission delivery to where we work physically to how beneficiaries get services. It's also completely upended fundraising. Fundraising galas, retail outlets, in-person donor meetings, all gone, all virtual, all seemingly overnight. According to data published in November by the independent sector, so far in the United States alone, over 1 million people employed in nonprofit have lost their jobs, and 7% of US-based nonprofits have closed their doors permanently. This is why we're investing in Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit. It's time nonprofits had modern, affordable, cloud-based solutions based on sector best practices. The Tech for Social Impact team at Microsoft focuses on just that. We provide affordable, relevant solutions that are tailored to core nonprofit workflows, solutions that support open standards, that are interoperable with other products in the market, and that, yes, support best practices so that nonprofits can focus on mission impact. Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit leverages these best practices and represents technology built across modern work, Azure, business applications, and LinkedIn. Tech for Social Impact works with over 200,000 nonprofit organizations today. Those are organizations of all sizes in all locations with all kinds of missions. You'll hear from a couple of them later in the presentation. It's by listening to these organizations that brought us the vision we're sharing with you today. We are all better and can spark more innovation if we listen and collaborate across the sector. So if you're one of those organizations, thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for spending your time advocating for better digital technology for the sector. You're helping spark an unprecedented wave of innovation at a time when it's most needed. While Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit is new, it's built on established best practices, open standards, and architecture that's been in the market now for years. Starting with the NGO reference model in 2017, we created a value map representing key scenarios that are common to most nonprofits. All nonprofits work with donors and fundraise. They all deliver programs. They must all carefully manage donor funds, and they all measure mission impact. Starting in 2018, with the launch of the Common Data Model for Nonprofits, Microsoft stewarded an effort to create a common language for nonprofits and their technology partners. Today, it represents a platform-agnostic set of entities, attributes, and relationships that describe many of the most common core scenarios. It's a repeatable set of best practices represented in a data architecture. Also in 2018, we built the first version of the Dynamics 365 Nonprofit Accelerator. It consists of sample applications built in Power Platform and Azure that bring the Common Data Model to life. Today, it represents 8 sample applications that partners have used to create new IP for the sector. Last year, we launched Fundraising and Engagement for Dynamics 365 Sales Enterprise. This is a first-party Microsoft app designed to help nonprofits manage their donors and fundraise for their missions. It's a finished, supported application that leverages the Common Data Model and Nonprofit Accelerator. The Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit leverages all of this investment. Fundraising and engagement sits at its core, and the Common Data Model is the backbone that supports a new modular architecture that lights up a bevy of new features. The Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit is built using Microsoft's core engineering principles. It's a cross-cloud suite of applications that unlocks the power of Microsoft Dynamics, Power Platform, Teams, Azure, and LinkedIn. By leveraging Dataverse and the Common Data Model, it's designed to break down silos between applications and data stores, providing an integrated experience. Being modular, it meets you where you are so you can adopt at your own pace and grow into it as you go. Lastly, it is specifically designed to extend frontline workers' capabilities, helping staff and volunteers be more efficient with the right data at their fingertips. Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit represents a connected cloud for constituent engagement, effective program delivery, and accelerated mission outcomes. It all begins with attracting, retaining, and growing a base of constituents, then being able to handle all the different ways those supporters might give through individual donations, planned giving, gift in kind, grants, recurring giving, and more. Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit also helps organizations manage volunteers and enables them to collaborate and engage on the causes where they can make the most impact. And it helps organizations design programs, services, and track outcomes. By breaking down silos across programs and operations, Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit drives insights that accelerate mission efficacy and back office efficiency. With it, you can follow the flow of funding from the initial gift through to program delivery and then to impact measurement, helping you understand donor propensity and design personalized engagement to improve fundraising. It's a bold vision, but one that unlocks the power of Microsoft technology for the nonprofit sector. The Microsoft partner ecosystem has been with us every step of the way to leverage this foundation to develop even more solutions around the globe. Partners like Blackbaud, Whipfly, and Avanade are already building best-of-breed solutions integrated to the Microsoft Cloud stack, while partners like Threshold.world, PicNet, and Mhance are building turnkey solutions on the Common Data Model integrated with the Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit. Our partners are making it easier and less expensive for nonprofits to implement and integrate with their existing technology investments. Let's hear from one of those partners now, Mission CRM, who implemented fundraising and engagement at Right to Play.
Right to Play is committed to a world where every child is safe and free from exploitation and abuse. Our mission is to protect, to educate, and to empower the most vulnerable children in the world using the power of play. And anyone who's been a child knows it's one of the most powerful forces in a child's life.
We focus on quality education programs, we focus on child protection, gender equality, and on health and well-being of children.
Because of the support of our amazing donors, Right to Play is able to work with over 2 million children every week. It can be gamified learning, sports, music, art, all different forms of play to engage children and make sure they're fully developing.
Our donors and supporters are critical for Right to Play to be able to scale up its program and create impactful, transformational change in lives of children.
About 3 years ago, we decided to make an investment to acquire new donors. We were increasing our file size from just over 100 donors to well over 3,000 donors a month. And we were handling it manually. It would take an individual a full day of effort to project how much revenue we'd have at any given time. We're helping kids at the end of the day, and being able to know how much support you can provide is so important.
Most nonprofits today end up compiling and having a huge ecosystem of disparate solutions that don't speak to one another. So resolving that problem and having a holistic 360-degree view of their donors, of their operations, of their data, all of a sudden it's a total game changer.
Fundraising and engagement built on Microsoft Dynamics 365 has such a huge impact on our operations. The donor information is imported directly into our system, and we're able to do real-time reporting on our revenue and our fundraising efforts.
The fundraising and engagement solution has allowed us to massively scale our monthly donor program. It's up over 3,000%, and that's only because of this solution. We now have a single system of truth where we can transparently communicate with a broad and international portfolio of donors and to steward them and engage them in ways that we never were able to before. They know exactly where their dollars are going and the impact that it's having.
Being transparent with our stakeholders in what are the challenges, what are the successes of the program is critical. It enables us to then in turn build better programs, fundraise more effectively, and reach more children around the world.
This is an incredibly powerful tool that allows organizations to truly move light years ahead of where they are today, built on that common data model and positioned for the future to grow.
Because of fundraising and engagement built on Microsoft Dynamics 365, Right to Play is going to be able to expand the impact of our programs and, over the next 5 to 10 years, expand to many more countries and impact the lives of many more of the world's most vulnerable children.
I love that story, especially the takeaway that Right to Play was able to expand their monthly donor program by 3,000%. That's not possible without technology. It's now my pleasure to pass the mic to Erin McHugh-Safe, who will take you through the details in a demo.
Thanks so much, Eric. I'm Erin McHugh-Safe, Global Director of Product Development for Tech for Social Impact. I have the honor of leading our engineering team, and I'm so excited to bring the capabilities critical to Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit to life today. As Eric and Kristen mentioned, we launched fundraising and engagement for Microsoft Dynamics 365 Sales Enterprise in October to begin this journey and to help nonprofits across the globe exceed their fundraising goals, serve more beneficiaries, and deliver more effective programs. Fundraising and engagement, like all Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit capabilities, are backed by the Microsoft platform, built on the common data model for nonprofits and Dataverse, and powered by Azure. As Eric mentioned earlier, supporter engagement and fundraising are more critical now than ever before as nonprofits focus on securing additional revenue to drive their mission. With fundraising and engagement, we are empowering nonprofit staff with data-driven ways to attract more donors and volunteers, to simplify their fundraising and financial measurement, to finally solve disparate data challenges, and to deliver greater impact and outcomes. And it's my pleasure today to help you get acquainted with how fundraising and engagement empowers staff to focus on actions most likely to impact their mission. So first, I'd like to help you see some of the major capabilities of the system. Fundraisers and development staff will use this system to manage donations and constituents, reimagined for today's diverse revenue streams and engagement channels. Payment processing and donation management are powered by Azure. Development staff will designate gifts and align them to appropriate funds and awards to simplify reconciliation. Marketers will use campaigns, appeals, and packages to plan effective campaigns with ease. And finally, analysts will use Power BI dashboards and reports to look forward instead of backward to transform their programs. So today, let's imagine that I'm a director of development. I start my day getting grounded in all of the supporter activities I need to help my team be more effective. I'll look at how my campaigns are performing, all of the active transactions. We're having a fantastic month. And I'll also dig in and help understand and look at how my team is performing. Luckily, I have the Microsoft Productivity Suite at my fingertips. And speaking of productivity, let's imagine for a moment that I spend most of my days in Teams. That's great. Fundraising and engagement is fully capable and operational in Teams. So here, I'm going to jump in and take a look at how my fundraisers are performing with their prospect pipelines. I'm meeting with Alexia a little bit later today, and I want to get a sense for how she's been doing in cultivating greater support. Right away, I see that things are going very well with Philip, but I see that she's behind with one of our key donors, Hayden Cook. And also, all of these other donors in her pipeline really need to be reaching the $1 million mark. This gives me the context I need to have a great meeting with Alexia. Now, I could continue to navigate and spend all my time with Teams, or I can use fundraising and engagement in the browser. But what I need to do next is get better acquainted with Hayden Cook and understand his engagement to our organization. Right away, when I come into his contact record, you can see that any user in your organization can see the critical information they need about Hayden at the time when they need it most. Right up at the top, I can understand that Hayden is in active solicitation with our development team. We are trying to partner with him to bring in $500,000 to support a pilot program around maternal vaccinations that's critical for the success and the benefit of our beneficiaries. I can also see that Hayden is a recurring donor to our organization, has a very strong lifetime giving over his history. I can see he's influenced a gift at his law firm, but that we have much more that we could do around the influence and networking capabilities. And finally, I can see a view of his household, his partner's contributions, and more. And over here to the right, that productivity I mentioned being critical. The next action I have coming up with Hayden to support Alexia's cultivation is to share a view of our pilot program. So I'm going to navigate in the system to the opportunities area. Actually, let's get back over here. We're going to go to the opportunities area and zoom in on that maternal health program that I mentioned. Here, we're in the development stage. We have more work to do to bring Hayden along and help him understand the impact that his gift could give on our pilot program. Eric mentioned earlier that this solution has at its core program, design, and delivery. I could dig in here and get much more information about my pilot program, including theories of change and impact and outcomes to measure. So now my plan is in place for the day for Alexia and Hayden. I'm also trying to cultivate a new prospect to our organization to support this pilot program. His name is Eric Arnold, and he's a key influencer in the technology sector who happens to work for Microsoft. He's a very new donor to us, and I have a lot more work to do to understand Eric's motivations and what is going to engage him best. So in order to do that, I'm going to dig into a new capability in the system, which is based on our integration with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And this is so powerful. It's the reason my fundraisers are having one of their best months ever. They're able to see touch points and engagement through this integration with LinkedIn, embedded in fundraising and engagement with ease and speed in ways that have they have not had the opportunity to leverage before. So right away, I can see all the great self-reported information that Eric has created in his LinkedIn profile. I'm going to now use a feature called Icebreakers to get a sense for who our connections are, and even more important, the type of content that's engaging to Eric through LinkedIn. Articles that he's liked, blog posts that he's authored, and the types of causes and missions that he cares about most. In order to understand the best strategy, I'm going to use something called Get Introduced. And this is all about the warmest connections imaginable between myself as the Director of Development and Eric. Right away, I see we have a friend in common, Ryan Osmick, the CEO of PicNet, another sector influencer in the nonprofit space. The next time I talk to Ryan, I'm going to make sure he puts in a good word for me with Eric to help move things forward with our pilot program. And because I know that Eric works at Microsoft, I'm also going to see if I can get a match and find out a little bit more about our network of connections. Once I make that match, I see, in fact, that we have 110 people in common, and I'm feeling more confident about my approach to help Eric get on board with our pilot program. And then finally, one of my very, very favorite features is the embedded communication in fundraising and engagement that brings to life and helps my fundraisers and prospect researchers connect directly with Eric. I've been working with Eric to try to get a virtual coffee date on the calendar, and he has confirmed that he is available. So I'm going to send him a quick note. Let's meet up on Tuesday. I'm sending you a brief of our pilot program. I'm hoping he'll read up before the meeting and come informed and ready to ask fantastic questions. So let's take a look. Integration, productivity at my fingertips. I go ahead and send that message to Eric without ever leaving fundraising and engagement. All of our communications and touch points are captured in the CRM where information is needed most. So with that, I hope I've gotten you excited about fundraising and engagement and features like LinkedIn and embedded communication that are coming with our next release. We have so many exciting capabilities in store for you throughout 2021. And Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit is going to help your teams with unparalleled productivity to drive and transform your fundraising, program, and data experiences so that your staff is empowered and you can effectively take your mission forward. Back to Eric.
Thanks, Erin. The new LinkedIn Sales Navigator integration is so cool, I have to say. One of the things I love most about my job is that I get to work with so many nonprofits with so many great missions. And we're going to speak with one of those now. I'd like to introduce Andy Gamuto with the Arthritis Foundation. Andy, welcome. Can you get us started by sharing a bit about the Arthritis Foundation's mission and scope?
Sure, thanks, Eric. The Arthritis Foundation delivers life-changing information and resources, funds, scientific research, and enables community connections and advocacy. There's 54 million adults and 300,000 children in this country affected by chronic arthritis-related diseases.
Wow. 54 million is an impressive beneficiary base. I imagine, like many nonprofits, the foundation faced some challenges that led you to evaluate looking at new technology. Can you share a few of those?
Sure. We had a patchwork of systems that didn't work together and strained our operating budget. Some of those systems were very complicated to use. Staff depended on IT to send them reports, which are often out of date by the time they reach the requester. In short, outdated legacy systems were holding us back.
Yeah, I haven't talked to a nonprofit recently where data hasn't been a primary need. So you made the decision to invest in Microsoft through implementation across Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit using Microsoft 365, Azure, and Dynamics 365. I understand it's all live today. What's some of the initial impact you're seeing?
The savings were substantial, more than $1 million. Replacing phones and teleconferencing products with Teams saved an additional $170,000 annually. Productivity is a tough thing to measure with any kind of precision. I lean very heavily on support requests and feedback to gauge that. Our help desk support requirements are down about 60% since we started.
That's awesome. I love the metrics. Financial savings are key for any nonprofit, and the productivity results are amazing. You mentioned you had to do all of this work and implement it with non-technologists. What are some of the early results that you're seeing among staff and volunteers?
The Microsoft tools and technology we adopted gives staff insight into the business that we really never had before. They reveal what's working and what isn't so that we can course correct a lot faster. Volunteers haven't had a lot of exposure to all these new tools yet. In 2020, we started to expand the role of volunteers. Empowering them with information is essential to our go-forward strategy.
That's great. And you did this in the middle of COVID when we all went virtual. The current pandemic has made fundraising and collaboration so important. How has Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit, including fundraising and engagement, helped the foundation respond?
These are tough times for everybody. It forced us to do more with less staff and accelerate our technology adoption schedule. For example, we rapidly adapted to our staff to working remote using Microsoft 365 and Teams. Second, Azure enabled our full transition to the cloud. All of our on-prem systems were eliminated. And then finally, Dynamics 365 puts a wealth of information about our constituents in the hands of people who need it for the first time, and we're just getting started. And then finally, I don't think any nonprofit our size has ever replaced their CRM in 6 months during a pandemic.
Yeah, that's amazing. 6 months.
I think it's a great testimony for Dynamics 365.
It's a great testimony for the foundation. 6 months soup to nuts is amazing anywhere, never mind a nonprofit. A huge congratulations to you and the team. Andy, thank you so much for sharing your story on the Arthritis Foundation and the ongoing transformation you're going through. Truly a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, Eric. Great to be here today and share our story with you. Thanks.
You bet. Kristen, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric, Aaron, and especially Andy. It's so exciting to see technology truly helping nonprofits transform processes and accelerate their mission impact. 6 months for a new CRM is amazing. So congratulations to the Arthritis Foundation there. Talking with and sharing our customer stories is an absolute highlight of what we do every day, as Eric said. So just really exciting that we could bring you that story, the Right to Play story, and there's so many more. So at this point, it's time to wrap up. It's been an absolute pleasure to host you here today with the session. I hope that you were inspired by the stories and excited to learn more about Microsoft's heightened commitment to innovating solutions for the nonprofit sector. So we have a few next steps for you here. We invite you to check out our website where you can learn more about Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit. While you are there, you'll see that we are going to have a webcast on March 30th. And so we invite you to sign up for that, to come and learn more, to see more demos, to hear from additional customers, et cetera, and again, to engage with our experts. So please check that out. And if you can't make March 30th, it will be available on demand as well. Next, Aaron showed you some innovative new features that are coming into our fundraising and engagement solution over the coming months with that LinkedIn integration. Very exciting. But fundraising and engagement is available today. So if you are looking for a modern solution to help you to automate processes and to really improve your fundraising outcomes, we would encourage you to take action there. If you can go to our website, watch videos, read more about the solution. You can even take a test drive. This is an experience where you can log in and actually walk through some day-to-day type of use cases to really get a sense for what it's like to use the solution. So we encourage you to take some next steps there. And then finally, if your schedule does allow, please join us for our Ask the Expert session. It's going to be just a little bit after this session concludes, so you can see the information there on your screen. And we look forward to taking your questions live and hearing your reactions to today's webcast. So thanks again for prioritizing some of your precious Ignite agenda. We know you have a lot of options, and I hope that this was really informative for you, that you have a great rest of the day and a great rest of your conference. Thanks again.